Hello, welcome back everybody. Yes, we've got another HomePod. Had one just get dropped off from someone. They made the drive out here from Vancouver to get it knocked out. So we're going to do that real quick so they can grab it and turn around and head back on their way. And here we are. We've got it plugged into some power. Obviously not powering on or doing anything here. We've got the usual 6-ish watts of power draw at the wall, which tells me it is most likely that usual diode that we normally see pop inside of these and cause no power. So let's crack this open and we'll do a little bit of maintenance while we're inside. We're going to be replacing that Schottky diode that causes the no power issue, of course, and we'll be replacing a couple of ceramic capacitors on the amplifier. Those we're starting to see, it's been about 6 years since these HomePods were manufactured, and at this age we're starting to see a lot of these ceramic capacitors responsible for DC filtering go bad and cause death farts and bass issues. So we don't want this coming back to us anytime soon for anything that we can prevent. Go. Let's get this display off. Pretty dusty. It's been a minute since this thing's turned on, I'm guessing. A little bit of rubbing alcohol to help with the glue that holds this basket down. We'll let it soak in while we work on the screws first. Now for the pry. My favorite part. Easy peasy. That's what we use that rubbing alcohol for. That basket's glued down for no good reason. No reasons that benefit you or I, at least. Look at the subwoofer. Smells like it's in great shape still. I love to sniff those subwoofers. Sometimes they hide a bit of a burn voice coil that you can't see. And, you know, a bad subwoofer doesn't always smell bad, but a subwoofer that smells bad is definitely bad. Let's get you guys up close in there. Ooh, glad we did not have to deal with a broken screw. That one felt real close. Oh, that one's in there. Haha. All right, we are in. First up, let's do a little bit of maintenance. Get those old aging capacitors replaced. Typically things don't just go bad over time, but ceramic capacitors just, they are one of those parts that naturally decay over time. And like I was saying earlier, it's been about 6 to 7 years since these were made and put into the HomePods at least. So we're starting to see more and more of these original capacitors failing, leading to death farts and other base issues. I used to not replace these unless they tested bad, but recently I started getting more HomePods that I didn't replace the filters on back, because even though they tested fine when I had the HomePod, it only took a matter of months for them to go bad and start causing issues, and I'd like to avoid HomePods going back and forth as much as possible. So we'll get some flux and freshen up those pads. And some new filters. I expect the replacements to last at least as long, if not twice as long as the original ones Apple used, so it's not like they need to send this back in a year or two for the same thing. Once you get some good caps on there, they should last quite a long time. Then you've just got a million other issues you could run into. But that's shoving 8 dedicated audio amplifiers and a power supply with an iPhone 6 to control it all into a small 1 cubic foot enclosed sealed unit. As much smack as we talk here, the engineering behind getting these to do what they did do is impressive still. Alright, that step down is looking a little crusty, so we'll just let that touch itself up a little bit while we pull this dead diode off. Now this is the actual part that failed and is causing their power issue. I get a, this asked a lot, will the replacement have the same problem? And we can confidently say no, it will not, for 2 reasons. 1, the diode we're using is much newer, and 2, it is slightly stronger and held to higher manufacturing standards. So the only reason we see these diodes failing as is simply just a bad batch of them floating around out there. And we know based on the date code on the diode, we can look out for the ones dated 46K and 48K. Those are the ones that keep popping. So if we really wanted to, we could use the exact same spec part, just a newer version, and it would be totally fine. There's nothing inherently wrong with the spec of the part that they used here. But there was something wrong with how those particular diodes were made during those 2 weeks of 2017. Concerningly large number of them out there that we've had come through here, and easily thousands and thousands more of them out there that have been thrown away or given back to Apple just so they could get torn down and recycled to their raw materials over a little $1 part. What's ironic is the stronger, higher quality version of this same part is actually cheaper. Not saying that was the case when they were originally making these, but still an ironic observation, at least today. So let's get this put back together. We'll see if it's all good to go. Excuse me. Find the flat side. There it is. Well, lost that one to the frickin' ether. Here we go. Nice and sealed. Tim, my man. Well, we're actually all caught up on the backlog as of yesterday. Just had this one get dropped off locally. So we're doing pretty well right at the moment, but ask me in a few days. Tuesday, Wednesday seems to be the busiest. That's when everything comes in over the weekend, or after the weekend. I tend to not get anything in on Sundays. Obviously, and like maybe 1 or 2 on Saturday. So it gives me a good chance to catch up. There we have it. Oh yeah, no, so what I ended up doing was taking the original motor from my first screwdriver and putting that in a newer battery in the control body, and that seemed to work just fine. So I just got really lucky with the very first motor that I got. Apparently they're normally not this good, so I just got to keep moving that motor if the rest of the driver ever dies, and I'll be set forever. Alright.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info,
there we have it, folks.
I'm having trouble connecting.
Perfect. So, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. Quick and short one. I will catch you in the next one.